Alright, I've picked up all of the stuff. The Endergenic generators don't stack because they have different amounts of energy in them right now. They save their energy when you pick them up with a wrench, which is cool. They're still full from me actually building the system in the first place and testing it out. But where I want to put this is right here. I've got enough space for this here. And it takes a 7x7 area total for this setup that I'm about to show you. This setup uses 3 Endergenic generators. There's a more compact system that uses 4. I don't know if this system's any more efficient or not, but I think it's maybe slightly more efficient because of the timing that you can get the way you set this up. So we're going to start with our first Endergenic generator right here. And recipe for these stuff is really not, it was kind of expensive with some diamonds and ender pearls. And these machine frames are lapis, a little bit gold, and some iron. The other thing that we will need is we absolutely have to have a pearl injector. You only need 1 pearl injector no matter how big your system is, which also requires machine frames, that stuff. Then I found that the best way to set this up is to use an ender monitor on each one of the your Endergenic generators. It's probably possible to set it up without these ender monitors like this, using a very complex programmable or using a very complex instruction set in the RedNet controller. The thing about that is I wanted to keep it as simple as possible and use as minimal amount of mods that I can. So I'm really just using RF tools and Mindfactory Reloaded and nothing else to make this work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by putting this guy down. I'm going to go ahead and put an Ender monitor right here. This thing has 3 different modes. It can send a redstone signal when the pearl arrives, when the pearl is lost. I'm not sure what you would use that one for. Let's get rid of the or when the pearl is fired. We want when the pearl arrives for this particular setup. I could also set this up using when the pearl is fired. I could very easily do that. But I don't know that it really matters that much. And the majority of the people set this up like this, so it's probably the easiest way to understand it. So now what I want to do is I want to come out 5. I want to have 5 open spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then in this space, 1, 2, 3, and then that goes there. Now I need 5 spaces between this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that goes there. So it should have 5 spaces between each of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're good. So before I do anything else, let's go ahead and actually, before I do anything else, I'll go ahead and set the ender monitors back down. Like so. Actually, how did I have these before? Yeah, I think that's how I had them. No, I didn't. I actually had these ones facing in, which is fine. They work that way too. They should. Or did I? No, I didn't. Can't make up my mind. You don't want to try to turn these with a wrench, I don't think, because there's kind of a... Oh, shoot. I need some smooth stone to fix that hole now. My overpowered pick. Request a stack of that. Yeah, I'll probably be making more mistakes like that as I go, so I might as well have some with me. Okay, yeah, the Ender monitor here. I'm going to go ahead and set the timer down right here. And I'm going to go ahead and put the pearl injector on this side of this guy right here. Doesn't really matter which one you do this with. Wherever you put the pearl injector, that's going to be your starting Endergenic generator thing. So we're going to go counterclockwise. So take a wrench of any kind, click on the one that you want to set, and you can see now that it actually is showing me the destination now. And you notice that when I set it, it said the distance is 3 ticks. That is what I want. I want a 3-tick separation between all these. So basically, depending on how far away you have them from each other, determines how many ticks it takes for the ender pearl to arrive at the next generator. So I've done that. I've gone all the way around. So this one fires to this one fires to this one, and this one fires to this one when they receive redstone signal, and they're currently holding an ender pearl. So what's going to happen is when this gets injected, this will inject an ender pearl into that one, which will go into holding mode. And then when it receives a redstone signal, it will fire that pearl at that one. That pearl needs to arrive at that one while this one is in receiving mode. If it does not have a pearl and it receives a redstone signal, it goes into receiving mode for 16 ticks. Ideally, you want that pearl that was fired to arrive on the 10th tick of the receiving mode. That's going to give you your maximum amount of power and efficiency out of your system. So hopefully that was fairly... Now this thing should still, yes, it's still set up with my 40 tick delay. That's fine. And I'm going to go ahead and place my RedNet controller down here. Now fortunately, this saved its program from earlier. So all I need to do is wire all this up. So I'm going to come up, and I'm actually going to go on top of this. Yeah, this is how I had it. Torch needs to go. And I'm going to have to do a bunch of... Is that right? Yeah, that's all right. How did I have that? Like that. Nope. Okay, there's my wiring back in. I did end up turning these back in because this is the way I had it before, because I ran out of RedNet cable the other way that I was trying to wire it up, so I knew that wasn't the way I originally had it. So there we go. So next thing I need to do is set all the colors. So this one right here needs to be black, and that's only because I've already got that RedNet controller programmed, so I'm just going to use the colors that I have already programmed in there so that I don't got to remember those again. And I don't remember what color this was. That one is... Okay, well let's start with this one. This is going to be our first generator, so that's going to be orange. And this needs to be red, because that's what I set it up to in the program on RedNet controller. So this is orange, and then I want this. So when this one fires, I want let's see. When the pearl arrives here, I want it to put this one back into charging mode. So when this pearl arrives, this one's not going to be orange. This is going to be purple, and this one's going to be blue, I guess. And this one's orange. So one on top is going to be the color that... Whoops. That's not what I want to do. There we go. Fix that. It's going to be the same color as the receiver 3, as the Ender monitor. So when the pearl arrives, it's going to send an immediate signal to the Endergenic generator, which is going to go ahead and fire the pearl right off again on the next tick. So as soon as the pearl arrives, it gets fired, which is good because you don't want to hold the pearl, because the longer you hold the pearl, the more energy it takes. It takes energy to hold the pearl in the generator. So you want it to keep on firing and going around the loop. And you want the previous generator to get kicked into receiving mode so that it's ready to receive the pearl when it comes around again. So what happens is this one fires, and then it also needs to get triggered by the next one. So that goes purple. This one fires, and then it needs to get triggered by blue. And when this one fires, it needs to get triggered by orange. That should be right. That should be all the colors coded, I think. So now if we look in the program here, what happens is when that's not black. That's not supposed to be black there. That's supposed to be light blue, I think. Yeah, there we go. So when the pearl reaches the light blue, it's going to send a signal to the timer. And what happens when this timer gets a signal before the 40 ticks are up, it resets it and makes it start the 40 ticks over again. So as long as the pearl is cycling around, the timer never sends a redstone signal because it keeps getting reset, which is good. And that way we don't use up extra pearls. And then when the pearl does eventually break, when it gets used, because even with a perfect setup, you still have a chance of losing a pearl from time to time, which is otherwise it would be way overpowered, even more so than it is already, because you would never lose a pearl if you got the proper setup. But yeah, it does cost Ender pearls to run this, regardless of how well you have it set up. So yeah, if the pearl doesn't go around or stops going around, the timer will eventually fire. When the timer fires, that is what goes to what the RedNet controller is for. This RedNet controller basically just replaces a whole bunch of sequencers. So if you didn't have Mine Factory Reloaded, you'd have to use some other kind of redstone, either basic redstone or some other kind of redstone wire to send your signals around, and you would need to use the sequencers from RF Tools instead of using this. This is basically just replaces instead of having 4 sequencers, I have one RedNet controller. That's all this is. So when it gets that signal from the timer on the black channel, it fans that out. So basically, just basically sends that redstone signal right on to variable 1, 2, 3, or 0, 1, 2, and 3. So a total of 4 variables, which has a different delay for each variable. So variable 0 delays 3 seconds, and then it triggers the purple, which is the second generator. So you want it to start out triggering the second generator in your series. So if you're using more than 3, doesn't matter how many you use, you want to trigger the second generator first off of this. Well, I guess it would depend. It would depend on what system. If you're using a 3 generator or a 4 generator system, this is probably going to apply. If you're using more generators than that, then it's probably going to be a completely different setup anyway. So this only applies to, I guess, a 2 or a 3 generator setup. Yeah. So what we need to do is wait. Is it 3? I think it's actually probably 4, but it doesn't matter because once it gets going by itself, it'll be fine. No, I think it is 3. Then it triggers the blue one. So basically it puts purple into charging, and then it puts blue into charging, light blue, and then it puts orange into charging. And then it sends the pearl. It injects the pearl. So when the pearl gets injected 12 ticks later into this should already be charging. Is that right? I don't think that's exactly right. I think that's supposed to maybe be, I don't know. Anyway, it does work. This setup does work. And then that's all the instructions. So it just basically fans out and then puts different delays on each one of those fan outs in a number of ticks to put these all into charging mode at the right times. So I guess now if we I don't know that I actually needed one extra instruction there. I think I might have been able to get away with 3. Yeah, so anyway, get some pearls. Actually, just grab some pearls right here. Stack of pearls. And if I set, oops, I can't use that anymore. Shortcut. If I set everything up correctly, this thing will start sending pearls around. So if I put the injector in there, we should see some something going on, maybe. I don't know that it's working. Not doing anything. Oh, I know why. Because this is no longer, because I turned the, when I pick this up, it saves the thing, but it's no longer the front, it's actually the back. So let me pull the pearls out while I fix this real quick so it doesn't accidentally fire a bunch of those while I'm fixing this, because this actually needs to be the back. Oh, and I need to fix the colors too. What was the color on that one? Was red. Previous, this needs to be back orange, back light blue, back purple. Right? Yes. Oh, and back in black. Now it should work. It saves the program, but it doesn't save the orientation, or doesn't reorientate the, there it goes. We are firing pearls now. It's hard to see right now that it's working because I don't have any energy draw. So let's go ahead and pull those out. And what I want to do is I actually want to set up something to store energy with. And ooh, we are going way long on this episode, but that's okay. I think we're going to have to actually skip the whole going to an RF dimension stuff. But that's okay, because guess what I did last night after I finished recording yesterday's episode? It's FireNet. I've got an ocelot and a wolf. So we'll be able to do those infusions at least. But I want to get this energy system finished because I want to switch this over to that energy system. And I'm going to be using it for bees. And bees are coming up really soon because I've definitely got all the hives that I need now to do it. So put that stuff away for now. So what I need is some energy storage. And I want to use capacitors from Ender.io. And it would be nice to make these really top tier capacitors. There, take a whole bunch of octadic capacitors, make some vibrant capacitor banks, and actually I think I can do this. Do I have much vibrant alloy? I don't have much vibrant alloy, but I can make a bunch of it now that I have a good amount of gold. I always have redstone and glowstone are not an issue, so if I do that, that should start making me some energetic alloy. And then I can take the energetic alloy and turn that into vibrant alloy and then create a bunch of capacitors. You see, I actually made a stack of basic capacitors, so I'll need to make a bunch of double layered capacitors, however many of those I can make. I'm going to make 12 of them right now, and then I can make some some octadic capacitors. I can only make one of those right this moment. And it takes 4 per capacitor if I use this recipe. I'm not going to be able to use this one because I'm not upgrading capacitors. I want to go straight to having a vibrant capacitor banks. And I'm going to put those right here in place of these 2 Stirling generators because I'm going to stop using these guys for my main power for the ME system. And I'm actually going to tear this guy out too. This vibrant, in fact, maybe I should put the battery over here. And I could move things around a little bit back here. Yeah, let me get this all rearranged and tidied up, and I'll come back and I'll show you the power output on the energetic generators. Alright folks, I've done a little bit of rearranging back here. If we look, I took out the old thaumic powered system because that's just not going to cut it anymore, especially as we continue to grow our applied logistics network. I moved the logistics power junction over to here. It was over here, and then I suppose I can probably put some kind of machines or something back here later if I need to, maybe some automated stuff. I left this little column open because I figured I might want to pull things directly out of my player interface and put them directly into these filing cabinets at some point. Some stuff. I don't know what right now, but I figured I'd leave that space for that. And then the energy acceptor is going to sit here, and I'm going to have a little 4-block battery right here. You can see that I've run some energy conduit over here. So I had to make a bunch more vibrant alloy. And I think this thing's done cooking now. Yeah, so I should have enough, hopefully have enough vibrant alloy and all that stuff to make enough capacitors to make 4 of the big energy banks. So I need a total of 16 octadics. 16 of those. So I need 10 more. I don't think I have enough. One short. One short. And I have enough basics, I think. Just need 2 more of those to make 1 more of these. And then I can make these. I had to cook up some electrical steel as well. Oh, I need 4 of these vibrant crystals. So I need some vibrant alloy nuggets. At least that much, I suppose. To make a few of these. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now, there we go. 4 big capacitors. Really big capacitors. Which are going to plug into this power. And we'll show you downstairs where that comes out at. If we look on our system, I've gone ahead and plugged into each side of these Endergenic generators. And I'm pretty sure these are not going to produce more than 20,000 total per tick. And they come up and go into some conduit facades. Why is that not working? There we go. Conduit facades. Just had to switch mode real quick. It does go down and connect to that generator as well. So all 3 of those are feeding into this same power network. Comes over here. Oh, I need to put a couple more facades right there. I think I've already made them. Yes, I have. Facade. Oops. No. That's going to end up getting a little. It did get a little bit of power in it. Oh well. It's going to pull the power out of the network or out of there anyway. Here in a minute when I put it together as a multi-block. Comes over here, goes up and connects to that power network. Again, I'm in the wrong mode with the wrench. It keeps wanting to switch modes on me. Is that the right mode? No. One more. There we go. That's the right mode. I want to see everything. It keeps and it goes up and connects to that power network, which supplies power to all my Ender machines up there, and all of the infusers, the infusion. What are they called? Presses. That's what they're called. Inscribers. We'll get it right. We'll get one of these words right. So yeah, that connects to there, and then it runs over and comes up right here as well. And this is going to be my main power storage. So we'll go ahead and plop that down, and now we got a big old battery. So I want to set this right here, side. Come on, you had it there. There we go. To see what the in-out is. And I've got a nice big power indicator bar right there, so I can tell how much power it is. And it just accepted all the power that I had, I think. Yep. It just went all into the energy acceptor there. I was running on battery backup, which was this thing. And you can see that I have completely drained out all of these Endergenics now, I think, are all drained out. Yes, they got very little in them. I think it'll store the last 2,000. It won't let go of that last 2,000 so that it has energy to catch an ender pearl and hold it just in case. So anyway, I think we are ready to put some ender pearls in this and see what kind of power it generates. So I come back up here, grab 1 stack of ender pearls, and go ahead and toss them into the injector. In a second, we should start seeing some power. Yeah, no, yes. There we go. Yes, it is generating power. And if we come up here and take a look, we can see that this has taken, well, that's filled up now. So this is receiving all the power. And we get a good idea of what the power output of the 3 Endergenic generator setup is total. Occasionally it bumps up over 5,000. I thought it would be a little bit more. I thought we'd be close to 6,000. But overall, pretty good. Oh, either we ran out of pearls or we lost a pearl at that point, basically. So as the pearl goes around, the longer it goes around, the more energy it can actually generate. So when it does lose one, it'll drop down for a little bit. The power generation, and then it'll pick back up. So yeah, we're looking pretty good. Over 4,000 a tick out of this system. I don't know. I'm not sure what's up, but I could swear that I was having better performance with this earlier. I was getting about 2,500 a tick gain off of each one, and it's not quite hitting it right now. So. But it's not using too many pearls. It's doing pretty good. What would really help is if I went and got into an RF dimension and got some dimensional shards and infused these. That would make it work a lot better. But overall, I think this is going to work out. Don't know if... I might have to debug it. Like I said, when I had it sitting in a different place, I was getting 2,500 a tick. But it could have also had something to do with server lag. Anyway, it's efficient enough. It's efficient and sufficient. And yeah, I think we're doing good. So a stack of pearls. I guess we're going to find out about how much a stack of pearls ends up giving me. Of course, I am using a little bit as we're going, but so far, a stack of pearls has got me over 13 million. We're still gaining, so once that stops gaining, we'll kind of know. Oh, there we go. Almost hit 5,000 in. And see, yeah, you can tell when it loses a pearl and has to start over again, because it drops down the input. There we go. Hit 5,000 there for a moment. Anyway, I think we're going to wrap it up now that we've got this power system installed. I'm going to be able to use this for some RF tools dimension stuff, which we'll probably get into after I get into some other stuff. So we're going to have to revisit that at some point. The only thing left to do now is the infusions, because somebody asked about them, and I forgot to show it to you guys in the last episode. So we got some infusions to do. We got a couple more of these specialized critters, the feline infusions. One of those is to get a guardian panther. This is basically turns it into like a really big panther cat, and basically makes it so that it acts pretty much like a wolf. And then the other one is a familiar. What's a familiar do? I don't remember even seeing this. Cat fur interacts strongly with nearby node. By optimizing this process, you can create a familiar, a special cat which taps usable albeit still minuscule amounts of biz. It has no ability to contain this energy for long, however, so you will need to stand nearby while holding the wand you wish to charge. This also works with a worn amulet of his. Multiple familiars in close proximity can charge your gear much more quickly. Oh, so basically it's a pet that charges your wand and your gear. Oh, there's a third one too. Gravekeeper. I did not realize there was a third cat pet. So I actually got 3 cat pets to make. The phenomenon is... Okay. Many ancient creatures revert cat is underworld something examinus. You have harnessed the phenomenon to create a gravekeeper, an enchanted cat whose glow illuminates nearby undead. It also seems to hold an apathy towards such creatures and will actively seek them out unless commanded to remain still. All but the most intelligent undead do not attack the gravekeeper, leading you to suspect that it is somehow invisible to them. Okay, cool. Make a cat that attacks zombies. So yeah, we gotta get those together. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and do those infusions off camera because I know this episode's already gone way long already. And then I'll be back in a moment to show you the results. Okay, folks, I'm back. I'm glad I took that cut because it took me a lot longer than I expected. One of the things I had to do was I had to go fishing. I had to make a fishing rod and go catch a couple fish to make one of the canine infusions. The first one, which is called a sea wolf, is able to breathe underwater. And you see that one is right over here. He kind of is a blue, looks like he has gills. He's a fish dog. Then the other one, the canines and the felines both had 3 different ones, so I did a little rearranging to my jars here. The next one is akin to it's a lunar wolf. So at night when the moon is up, it has the ability to charge your wand. It collects viz from the moon. And you can see he's a white dog with some nice eldritch purple eyes there. And the final canine infusion was a hellhound, or another hound, that can breathe fire at its enemies and stuff. So, but it remains friendly, and it doesn't look like the hellhounds that you find in the Nether. So, I mean, it's kind of like a brighter orangish red color there. So there's my dogs, and then let's look at the cats. So this one back here is the is the grave cat. The grave, what do they call it? The Undertaker. And I'm not sure why he's bright yellow, but that's what he is. He's a bright yellow tabby, I guess. I think that's the word. This is what you call him. But yeah, there he is. He's got some nice blue eyes. The next one is this guy right here. Feline. That is the familiar, which allows you to charge your wand also. So there's a dog version of the wand charging, and there's a cat version of the wand charging. And he's kind of cool. He's got a little witch hat on. It's a little witch's familiar type thing. I like that. I might use that a bit around the base, and make a clone of him or something. And then finally we've got the what is it called? The Panther. Yeah, the very first one here, which makes a much larger, basically larger version of the ocelot. And I gave this guy his own jar enchant, so that I see he's just a big kitty cat, so that I'd be able to put him in and out of a jar. So you can see sometimes these guys don't want to show up in there. There he shows up. You can see you got the jar enchant. So, because I figured this one might actually be one that people would want to get off me, and I figured it'd be a lot easier if he just went ahead and had the jar enchant by default before I added any other special abilities if people want him. Pretty cool. Well, he goes there. Then I added 2 more tables and moved the horses over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make the skeleton horse and the zombie horse too, I think, for this table. And that'll be the complete collection of Horizons critters. So there we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment, thumbs up. Go check out everyone else's channel that plays on the Primus server. And until next time, I will catch you later.